Kerbals do not need to eat, sleep, or drink, so if they're left in orbit, they just stay there forever, in their little metal box, orbiting whatever planet you left them at, which is a fate worse than death, so I had to go back and save Tim C. Kerman. Once I do manage to save him from our last mission where we went to Duna, I figured why not land over here on Ike as well. I think it's Ike, it's the moon of Duna, and it's pretty easy to land on. You can land right on your nozzle if you need to, just like I did here, because it's got pretty low gravity. You can see Duna off in the background there. A beautiful shot, if I may say so myself. In the last episode of this series, which you can go find the playlist in the description or on the side, we went to Duna. This time we're going to be moving on to the beautiful green jewel of our system, named, well, Jewel. As soon as we get Tim C. Kerman back here, we're going to be building a new craft to go to the next mission. Here we are building the craft. We need to make it to Jewel, and we need to set a probe within the orbit of Jewel. And so I had a very cool idea to put a couple of small probes with quite high delta V on each one of them into a sort of payload bay that I could open up and deploy these crafts once they arrive at their destination. That's going to need a pretty big lifter stage, so that's what I went for here with multiple vector engines, because once you get a couple of vector engines, they will outpower all of the other main, well, you know, the mainsail and the other ones as well. I think they have about 1,400 kilonewtons of thrust, whereas these ones have about 700 on each one. So as soon as you get to 3 or more, they get pretty powerful, but maybe in this case too powerful, as it entirely rips itself to shreds within just a few moments of launch. But this time it went much, much better. You wanna know what I did? I added a lot of struts. So usually that's the case in both KSP and KSP2, just add more struts if you're having some instability issues. This thing was super clean, up into orbit, no problems at all, turning over here onto an orbital trajectory, and now just pushing it way out to Jewel. Do you want a guide on how to find each one of the different orbits? Because if you do, I think I might make that video. So let me know in the comments if that's something you struggle with, is getting encounters with different planets. But here we are, trimming it, getting it closer and closer to Jewel, until I see it just kind of moving around. Now, I actually do this wrong here. I come in from the wrong side of Jewel, and it makes it so that all of our orbits are backwards from what the moons are doing. So I think we are going counterclockwise, and all of the moons are going clockwise, or vice versa. So that was a problem. But either way, we capture on Jewel, and with that, we do get our mission complete. I deploy these little probes because that was the plan. I wanted to use these probes to go and explore all of the different moons. I figured with 2 different probes, it'd be easy to go see them all. I didn't quite manage to see all of the moons of Jewel. There's a nice shot of Jewel for you with my little probe hanging out right above it. But the mission is complete. And with that, 5,000 science bucks just for putting a probe around Jewel. But now I gotta go back and look at those probes and find a few more moons. This one is Pole, I believe. And then this one, of course, is Lathe, a beautiful liquidy planet that you can go do cool stuff with because it's got an atmosphere. But here I am back in the R&D center, unlocking a few more nodes, especially this one right here, Deep Space Methalox. It's a pretty cool one. It gives you these really long engines that have very, very high ISP, very efficient engines. And this launch goes perfectly to plan. Yeah, perfectly to plan. That's what we wanted to do a little spin just for style, and then just bust off a bunch of parts because we're overheating for going too fast. That is, believe it or not, that is peak performance. That is what you want to do. So here I come in here. I'm just grabbing an encounter with Tylo. This is it. This is one of the final missions in the game. The final primary mission is to go and find the monument on Tylo. And our very first time trying to land on Tylo goes about as expected. We come soaring in here, going still 2,000 meters per second, crashing directly into the side of this mountain. The reason why Tylo is so hard to land on is because it's actually 80% of the size of Kerbin, your home planet, without any of the atmosphere, where atmosphere really helps you land because you can use aero capturing, where you get slowed down by the atmosphere as you come in using a heat shield, and you can also use parachutes once you get going slow enough to just descend slowly towards the surface without using propulsion. On a moon with no atmosphere, but this size, you just have the gravity working against you, and you've got to use tons of propulsion to get down to the ground. But if you have enough Delta V and you have enough perseverance and you can control the craft, adeptly, then you can land. And now, I was a little bit far away. I've got to do a little bit of a little hop just to bring ourselves a little bit closer. And down I come, adjusting, and here we are. We've made it to the last of the monuments here on Tylo, the last for now. Perhaps there will be more being added to the game in the future, but for right now, we've made it to the edge. Well, not really, but the edge of the solar system. There is still one more planet out there, but it is sort of the Pluto-esque planet, and look at that guy. He's a little bit chubby, he's a little bit cute, and he's got a couple of what looks like stars. Maybe one is white and one is maybe more of a red star. Maybe he's trying to tell us something. Not too sure. So with that, we have completed it. They say, Director, you did it! We did it! After you discovered the Tylo monument, all of the other signals stopped in unison. The only signal left is the one at Tylo. And the message says, now in English, or, Kerbal, Joyous salutations, younger sibling. You have grown upward. We are feeling the emotion of pride. To have made it this far, you must be ready for something meteor. Jubilant wheezing. Humorous diversion is the best pharmaceutical. I think that's supposed to mean laughter is the best medicine. This belief, like many others we share. Come find us where Kerbal does not shine. We shall be waiting. Good luck. Well, with that, it seems like there is definitely sort of an ancient aliens thing going on in KSP, and it seems like in the sort of interstellar version of the game where you can leave the Kerbolar system, we're gonna go meet these people. That's what I have to assume. Very confusing what they're going for here, but either way, finishing the mission gets us 10,000 science points, which I can use to unlock just a couple more things, because stuff is getting real expensive out here. So I go through and I unlock the couple of things that I really like, including the heavy nuclear propulsion, just to get us to tier 4. And with that, a bit of a victory lap as I try to land here on Elu. Elu is the furthest point in the entire system, and while I wait for this to get down to the surface and inevitably crash, I want to thank you for watching the series. Guys, if you enjoyed it, hit like. If you want to see more, subscribe. This series will be over, but I'll be doing lots more fun stuff. I really appreciate all the support you guys have shown me on this channel. It's been really, really fun. It makes me want to make more stuff and play more games and do all the good stuff. So, thank you. Thank you again. This has been Graybeard. Until next time.